syllable. So it's a hard word. It's a hard word to say. Road.
Road.
The R has to be very distinct. Road. Road. You're doing good. You're doing good. Now, we talk about directions. We can very good. We can go up the road, or we can go down the road. And we can go up the road, or we can go down the road. We can go across the road. Okay? Now, you know what I mean by across the road. You just go across the road. It's on the other side. How do you know whether to say, if you're giving directions, I say, well, how do I get to Robinson's? You say, well, you go out to the main road. What is it? Chiron?
New road. We call new road.
New road?
Yeah.
So you say, you go to New Road and you go up the New Road to Robinson's.
That's straight.
When would you say up the road, and when would you say down the road?
Up the road, down the road, up.
Yeah. It's very, I don't know the difference. Because now, if the road was on a hill, you would say up the road. If the road was, going down, you would say down the road. And it would mean straight. You go straight up the road or straight down the road. But if, like in New Road, the road is level, you could say either one. You could say either one. Robinson's is up the road, or it's down the road. Now,
I think so, teacher. Down, back, up.
well, that if the difference is very, very slight. It's subtle, but here's the town. If the city, this is the city, and we have many, many buildings. And we had a lot of population, a lot of buildings, a lot of people in this part of town. And this part of town is not very populated. There aren't as many people living there. So we would say that we are going uptown. Uptown. We're going to go uptown. And so if the road, I would say, to get to, and let's say Robinson's is here, and I am here, I would say, well, you go up the road. You go up the road. But if we're here, and Robinson's is down here, I would say, you go down. Now, Tim made a very good point. If we're referring to straight ahead, we would say up the road. If we're referring to behind us, we would say down the road. Okay?
Maybe. Sometimes.
And it's a good example of how when you give directions, you want to try to be more precise. So if one time I was asking directions to someone who spoke pretty good English here in Thailand, and the directions I was giving was to go down the road. Well, first of all, I didn't know which road he was talking about, and I didn't know which direction down was. what he needed to tell me was the name of the road and like maybe the number of the soy or something, so I could be given, you know, better directions. But down the road refers to behind us, up the road refers to ahead of us, and or it could mean here we would be going uptown. But if all of the population was down here, and there wasn't very much population down there, we would refer to going downtown. So the use of the word up the road or down the road or uptown or downtown, it's very imprecise. It's very imprecise. You're not giving the person you're speaking to very helpful information. You know, because a person could be confused about whether, you know, which direction is up, which direction is down. Okay, well, we're almost out of time. You want to read some from the book again? Let's do that. Let me get my book. Oh, here it is. Here's my book. We've been reading from this book, and we're almost finished. We're almost finished. In fact, we'll probably finish it, I'm thinking, on Friday. We'll read a little bit today. And we'll read it a little bit today. Does everybody have their book with them? Everybody have their book with them? And yeah. Now remember where we left off. He stole 40,000 or almost 40,000 rupees from the swamp. What was her name? Swapna Devi. He stole the money, and he went to take the money to Nita's father so he could marry Nita, and the father. He says, "I have got the money," I told him. He looked at the money, the father looked at the money and said, "Where did you steal it from?" And that's where we left off. So let's, oh, I'm sorry, we're on page 70. We're on page 70. We're on page 70. We're on page 70. And page 70 at the top of the page, and so we're going to start at the top of page 70. Nat, would you read for us?
That does not matter, I said. I have come to take Nita away with me. Nita is staying here, he said. She is hurt badly inside her body. And the doctors say if you take her 4 months to get well again, her treatment will be very expensive, 60,000 rupees. If you really want Nita, come back with 60,000 rupees. I knew then that Nita would never be mine. Her father would want more money than I could ever afford. I felt sick. I saw blackness all around me and I closed my eyes. When I opened them again, I saw a newspaper on the front. It had an advertisement with a picture of a man on it. The man was smiling and holding several thousand rupee notes in his hand. The words under the picture read, "Welcome to the greatest show on television. Who will win $1 million? Call or write to the U.S. Perhaps you will be a lucky winner."
Okay. Can you say the word billion? Billion? Billion. It's a double L sound. Billion. Okay.
10 million.
billion. Call or write us. Perhaps you will be the lucky winner. So he's getting ready to get on the quiz show. Let's see. Okay, would you like to read for us? Yeah, but you can read a couple of paragraphs.
I look this at the gate is flat.
Prim.
Studio. Calm.
Studios.
Studio. Calm. Mumbai. I knew in that moment that I was going to Mumbai. The man with
Glasses.
this
And you know what glasses are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
the man with
Glasses.
glasses and
Mm-hmm.
backhand was waiting outside the bus.
The ward. The ward would be where all of the hospital beds are located. You know, where all the people who are injured are located.
He looked at me with hopeful eye, but he did not try to speak to me. I still had the paper back in my hand. Take this, I said, and I gave him the back key of 40. There are